What up, DJ Nubis?
And DJ Neko.
With another trailer reaction.
There have been so many trailers coming out lately.
I know, there's probably like 100 more that I haven't even done anything for, but usually when you're out, I kind of just pop some in here and there and try to do some movie reviews occasionally. Just depends, and maybe when with October coming in, Samurai might have me on his channel to do some horror stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Neko's not happy because she won't be.
I know. I've been home now for almost
too long.
June, July, August. So it's been 3 months and almost 4 months because it's so, and then I'll be leaving in like 2 weeks. But I feel like we have been so busy, like not just
we're doing a lot of shit,
not just with the podcast and stuff, because we really try to keep up with that. So we're always like, podcast is number one and YouTube is kind of like number two. And I feel bad because we probably have 4 subscribers, but we're trying. But
well, the reality is that the music that we put out there for people is like the primary thing. So, like Metal Mania does video and audio, so they have their own niche for what they're doing. And of course, like, I like doing stuff like this and
it's
stuff
just
with
fun
Samurai
to share with our friends more than anything.
But,
and I'm behind on all of my YouTube subscriptions as well, like watching them. That might be something I do tonight or whatever, just put on YouTube and while we're working, just go through our friends.
Yeah.
Because
I did have to say recently, Aaron Penn got the book. I sent him, so he was very happy. He did a video. I was going to send it to you, I thought.
I didn't see it yet, no.
But he was very happy about it. He had to do it privately because, of course, the book is got some nude images and stuff that he can't.
So he only did it for his Patreons?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but it was nice. And he gave us thanks. He's actually thanked us both for sending it to him. It was me that sent it to him, but yeah, both of us to him. But he loves us, and I love him, and I still need to do some show with him, but because of the time zone difference, sometimes it's difficult to hook up. But I do try to like jump on his streams late at night when he's on and just, chat with him a bit and say hello.
And we were fortunate enough to have Nunu not that long ago, which was great. And just having that interview was amazing. I mean,
and we do still have more interviews to do down the road. We didn't get to it because we got a lot of shit going on this summer.
Just personal, like family stuff. I'm not saying like my world is falling apart, but like these are all happy things that are happening that we're taking place in. It just takes up a lot of time. And it's okay. That's the reason I took 4 months off from sailing, and now I'm going to go back out for 2 months. So.
Yeah. But this trailer is for a movie called The Whale. And when I talked to you about in another trailer about like Hayden Christensen coming back to it, well, Brendan Fraser had been out of acting for a while, so now he is the star of this.
I love Brendan Fraser.
To which he literally got into the part where he gained on some pounds. The interesting thing about this, I don't have it with me, and I'll probably show you later, but it's a really incredible moment. I can't remember where it was exactly.
Oh, I saw that
had like
video.
A 6-minute ovation for him, and he kind of got into tears about it. But for those that don't know, I did talk about Brendan like some podcast back, and some of the issues he had in his personal life regarding like abuse in the industry and stuff like that.
People not taking it seriously.
Yeah, and so he went through a lot of tough times. So for him to come back and have, I think he got like an award for this already somewhere. Again, I can't remember which one it was, but apparently people say he's really good in this. I don't know anything about it other than the fact that he put on some pounds. So I really don't know if it's about bullying or whatever. I don't know. But we're gonna watch a trailer for this. And
did they say? I mean, I know he was, he's older. He gained a few pounds just with age. But did he say he put on extra weight for this?
Yeah,
kind of like what
Stallone did for Copland. It's
and what's his face? Tom Hanks does. Like Tom Hanks does it all the time. He's up and down the scale because
Charlize Theron did it for Monster that she did the movie.
And the opposite way, Christian Bale for The Machinist, he starved himself to get down to that like really skeletal look. And I mean,
I will say this movie is directed by Darren Aronofsky, so he's the guy who did Black Swan and Noah. So that should be a pretty good plus.
I do like Black Swan.
I will only say that I'm not a big fan of Darren personally because he's a supporter of Woody Allen, but outside of that, I try to
You just
space it out.
you're just like you're appreciative of his talent,
Right.
but you don't support him supporting Woody.
Right. So
It's really hard when it's we've had this
All right, it's
discussion
not-
many times.
Sorry, I got it correct. It's not Woody. It's Roman Polanski.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Well, it's really hard.
Although some people have a problem with Woody too, because he had his issues.
But we always talk about this, and I think sometimes it just goes down to like your personal taste or whatever. But
well, your personal beliefs. It's you guys either you could separate the art from the person, or you can't. And some people can't, and that's fine. I have no problem with that.
I mean, we just watched that.
Like really, with the whole Amber Heard thing, like they're still I think they're still going to put in Aquaman 2 now. I wasn't crazy about Aquaman 1. I thought it was okay, but I'm not going to rush out to see Aquaman 2, and especially if she's still in it. Like that's me kind of putting my foot down. I'm not going to go to the theaters to see it. But I mean, she's not really the only because like her role is probably so small in it, it doesn't even really matter. But
what was the documentary we watched about like historic Black comedians? And then of course, they spoke about Bill Cosby, and they're like, it's really sad, and people don't want to talk about it anymore because of what happened with Bill Cosby, but he was important for Black comedy as time went on.
Yeah, part of that is we also caught some of that, which I'm sure maybe it was Dark Side of Comedy. Maybe that was it. I don't know, but
no, it was that
it was an actual doc.
It was an actual documentary.
But Dark Side Comedy also is doing some things on different comedians who passed away and had trouble with drugs and just controversial stuff. Like Chappelle came up in that doc. Yeah, some people can't separate the both. Like for me, I'm kind of like it's a weird situation with comedy with me. I know we're kind of going off tangent here, but with Dave Chappelle, when it comes to comedians, like I can separate that they're doing an act versus somebody getting offended by it. So I don't see Chappelle being malicious in the way that he's doing jokes. Now there were somebody, I can't remember who it was we were watching.
I think it was Andrew Dice Clay.
Yes. And so they felt that he was being a little bit more mean-spirited with the jokes. But I would still support Dice just in the sense that it's his art. Like people still have the freedom to choose of whether or not they want to listen or watch him. I think that's the responsibility of the people that go to these comedy clubs. Like you need to know ahead of time, like who's there, what they're about, what their skits are about, what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, because it can also become dangerous for the comedian.
Yeah,
people are crazy.
People have been jumping on stage and attacking them, and like you saw the Will Smith thing. That it's only now that Chris Rock's been kind of like putting them on full blast. Like he's like, I don't accept your apology. I think it's bullshit. So that's just a whole different thing. But that's the thing. Like you have to understand, Chris Rock wasn't trying to be mean spirited, and so at some point we have to get over this fact that every little thing is going to hurt us. Like if you can't handle it, don't be there. And certainly don't get up in the middle of something and start trying to attack someone physically. There's never, ever an excuse to do that.
I seriously thought it was bullshit because it's two comedians, like I thought it was just staged bullshit. I did not believe it really happened. But then, like, because I was
like, wow, Will Smith just smacked the shit out.
Yeah, like that. It was just so funny. And I was on the other side of the world, so I was a little bit behind of when it was happening. And I was like saying to my coworker, did you see that Will Smith just smacked Chris Rock at the Oscars the night before? And he's like, yeah, what the fuck is up with that? I was like, I feel like it's some kind of publicity stunt.
That's what most people thought at one point, but
and then when it was coming out that like,
but the funnier joke about that was the joke that Rock put out there regarding
it was just G.I. Jane
wasn't even that bad. Now, granted, Pinkett has like a hair.
She has alopecia,
but he didn't even know that. But anyway, the funnier part was when Chris cracked the joke.
Will laughed.
Will's laughing until he looks at her, and then she's like, and he's like, and then he has to go up and slap Chris to make it better. Like, I'm like, dude, I don't give a shit if people hate me for saying this, but fucking Will Smith is a cuck.
Oh, we know he's a cuck.
He's a cuck.
Jada is banging like her son's
Whoever she
friend
wants,
or
yeah.
something, and
He's a cuck.
it's crazy. You love that word, don't you? Ever since I taught it to you.
It's her fault. Her fault. Her fault. Her fault.
Anybody that gets like any man that we know that gets disrespected by a woman but just takes it he's like so and so is a cuck
actually enjoys it
and enjoys it. He's like so and so is a cuck. This person's a cuck. I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. I'm sorry I taught you that.
Anyway, we're way off topic here, but
I love Brendan Fraser. He is not a cuck. He is a wonderful actor, super handsome, super funny. Everything about him.
A lot of people have said that Brandon's a lot like Keanu Reeves, like in real life. Like he's just general nice guy. Like Keanu, people have run into him. Like I was watching some video the other day. Keanu showed up at he was out on vacation somewhere, and his couple was getting married that week, and they ran into him. And so I guess Keanu was like, yeah, so you're going to invite me to the wedding or what? And the guy's like, yeah, man, sure. You can come stop by if you want. Sure as fuck, he showed up.
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
Just to hang out. And that's the greatest thing ever. Like, that's the most coolest thing.
I saw something with Brendan Fraser, too, where he was at a Comic-Con and this kid, like, brought him we love Bedazzled. This kid brought him to tears, like, saying how much he loved his work and how much he missed his movies and missed him in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is just phenomenal. Like, I think he's one of the ones that just doesn't get enough love. Like, he's one of the ones we could put in our little
yeah, people started showing or stating because he started doing some movies that were really bad. Sometimes actors and actresses choose bad roles or bad movies. It just happens. But then shortly after that, he just kind of fell off the map, and I think some of that was because of what was going on personally. But those first two Mummy movies and Bedazzled, and even it goes back to Encino Man,
mm-hmm.
like that movie's great.
Well, let's think about it. Like,
what was it? School Ties mm-hmm. with Matt Damon. That was great.
He might have. So we don't know like the intimate details clearly because it's his business, but he said he had suffered some abuse, and a lot of people didn't believe him, and it really was hurting him. So maybe he was taking some of these other roles to get away from the people that were giving him the abuse, but then it just was hurting him more, like because he was missing out. Like he might have been looked at as like a problem.
Yeah,
like,
that's usually what happens.
Yeah, Brendan's
blacklist you because
Brendan's a problem. He's mm-hmm. complaining too much, even though he's being abused by somebody. So we're just not going to hire him at this studio anymore. And I think that might be part of.
It happened with some of those women with Weinstein.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there are several women who refuse to go down to Weinstein's little chateau and do private interviews, and nobody paid attention to Courtney Love 100 years ago because
Rose McGowan,
but
Asia Argento.
Like Courtney Love said it so many times, and she said, Harvey Weinstein, do not trust that man. He is a horrible. Like she laid it out, and it's Courtney Love. She's a drug addict. She's insane. So nobody really listened to her, but
you get this laundry list of women that are like, all this shit happened to us.
It just kind of like comes out, and I'm wondering, like maybe if Brendan starts getting his footing, he might want to try and like.
Oh yeah, well, I'm sure we'll find some way because with Depp finally getting some justice for himself, I think we're going to start seeing a bit more balance in terms of like men getting heard, in this respect as far as
we can go the opposite way too. Like a lot of times when like Weinstein, he's rich and powerful, so he kind of got away with whatever. You look at some other people where you would never expect them to be abusers, and like Kevin Spacey,
Well, I don't want to get into it.
Okay, so yeah, we're having like so let's watch The Whale. I am truly interested because I love Brendan Fraser.
So here we are. This is The Whale.
Sure.
That's what this book is really about. The book is about me.
Those seizures are a sign of something far more serious. You will end up with a much worse condition.
I can't do that. I have a daughter to raise.
I have to go away.
No matter how hard things get, we can never give up.
It's gonna be fine.
Oh, we gotta watch this.
Yeah. So it wasn't a whole lot there, but I'm assuming he's taken some of his personal tragedies and kind of pouring it into that character, because it seems like it's a very deep type movie. I'm gonna have to kind of go back and read the synopsis of it. Just to
I
kind of,
know.
who is the female actress? Did you
She
recognize her?
looked really familiar.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me see if I can get out the old handy dandy Google real fast. So, the female actress, it's called The Whale, right?
Yeah.
Um,
But you might need to type in The Whale movie, because you come up
The Whale.
with
2022 film. It says, it's got like 9 out of 10 on IMDb, 78 on Rotten Tomatoes. The film stars Brendan Fraser, Sadie Sink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Stranger Things. Got it.
Oh, yeah.
That's her.
Hong
Yep.
Chow, Samantha Morton, and Ty Simpkins. And the synopsis basically says a reclusive English teacher living with severe obesity attempts to reconnect with his estranged teenage daughter for one last chance at redemption.
You know what that sounds like a lot?
Hmm.
The Wrestler. Which is a great movie. And I think that's a Ronsky movie too.
So, some critics warning that the fat people shouldn't see The Whale sparks debate. And then it's some people, Darren Aronofsky has some odd ideas about fat people. So, like, I think, like, this is going to kind of go into the fat phobia kind of.
Well, don't see it. I'm overweight. I don't give a fuck.
Me too.
I've seen movies with fat people. I don't get offended.
I mean, it's like I'm saying, it's getting some good reviews, but then it's getting a lot of criticism from people.
That's your woke culture right there, dude. Guaranteed. Just because people can't handle it. They're not grown-ups. They can't make up their own minds about what they want to watch.
So
So instead of saying, this isn't for me, they're going to say, oh, well, I'm going to boycott it, or I'm going to talk trash about it because I'm just so insecure about myself that I can't just be a grown-up adult and make an adult choice with not watching this film.
Oh, this is sweet. Brendan Fraser gets emotional over Whale Awards, his first trophy since grade 4.
Yeah.
He said, normally I'm the guy who hands these out. He got a Toronto International Film Festival award. It's a pre-Oscars accolade. I don't think, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to figure out how the fuck we can watch it, because I want to watch it because I love Brendan Fraser. Yeah. And it just looks so sad. And I think you're right. I think Brendan Fraser really is taking some of his personal tragedy and trying to push it into the emotions.
Yeah.
And again, some people are saying in this article I just looked at that Brent, that the fat, it's not even fat phobia, but they're saying it's written like people know you don't understand fat people. You know, just
Well, it's still a
every
movie.
okay, so
It's-
every fat person is different. You know, every
every person's
every
different,
person
period.
is different, but like, you know, I'm kind of chunky, but like I get up and I go to work and I'm, you know, I
We
do
all
my
deal
thing.
with it.
There might
all
be some
do.
people who are obese who are like super depressed.
Mhm.
I get depressed sometimes because I'm like, fuck, man, I need to lose like 50 or 60. Technically, I'm obese.
Yeah.
I should lose.
But again, it's just people don't want to be grown-ups about it. They just rather complain. Like, the movie's not for you. If you're that easily offended by whatever it is he's putting out there.
There's something going on in your life that you really are kind of like not able to.
But I'm telling you, if I have problems, I'm not going to tell you can't make this film, or I'm not going to tell you, well, you should be ashamed for making this film. No, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to listen to it. Anything.
Or like
it's
what
called
we were-
being an adult.
It's like what we were talking about earlier, where it's you start watching something and maybe it's just not.
There
interesting
are
to you.
shows and movies like, I'm sorry, people again are going to get offended by this. Jordan Peele makes a certain type of movie, certain type of horror film. He's very talented, obviously, but it always caters around to whitey boy bad, and I just choose not to watch it for that. But I don't try to stop him from making it. I don't complain about his movies. I just choose not to watch it because I just want him to do something different in terms of presentation, and like the plot lines are always the same. But that's his type of directing. That's what
No,
he
we
wants
haven't
to do.
seen Nope yet.
No, and I think I've saw like the ending of Get Out. That was it. But I know how he does. I read up.
Wait
on
a minute,
this.
is Get Out the one where
They were incorporating white people into black.
yeah,
people's
yeah,
bodies.
yeah, and they were like kind of like taking their
But it's all from a racist standpoint.
it was really weird.
It's a great plot. It's just, but like, show me you can do something different than using that as your plot.
That just
line.
might be his platform.
It is,
And that's
he admits
fine.
it.
And he's doing great.
But
if
I'm
you
not
don't
gonna-
like it, then don't watch it.
That's what I'm saying. Just people can't do that. They
Yeah.
can't be grown-ups.
Yeah, Get Out was kind of fucked up, man. And like,
Anyway, we are really dragging on.
I
here.
know. So maybe it's just because it's a Brendan
serious topics.
Fraser and a serious topic, but I am gonna figure out how the fuck we can watch The Whale, and I hope you guys
It's probably on Prime or something, or at least on demand or something like that.
But honestly, hats off to Brendan Fraser. I hope he's doing amazing because I've always loved him.
Yeah, seems like a good dude. So I'm glad he's doing better.
Remember the movie Blast from the Past?
Anyway, thanks for checking out this reaction video. We will catch you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.